I'm not very techie at all. I occasionally do lectures I get invited to do talks to kind of fine art students or photography students. And I always dread the photography students a bit because I think you're all going to know more than I am. Fine art, I'm fine. But yeah, in terms of technical stuff, no, I mean, I was going to say quite intuitive. I don't know whether that really works with technology, but I like things that are very visual. And so, digital technology is brilliant for that because you can see if it's working, if it's not working. I also work in medium format photography, and I find that much more difficult because I have to know about, f-stops and things, and yeah, I'm not terribly good with that. I can do it, but I mean, I think it's part of the reason as well when I'm doing photography, I usually adopt kind of theatrical style, so I actually do continuous lighting and kind of so on. Now, partly that's because I love the scene of it, and it's great to see the contrast between what the camera gets and what you see in the room, But it's also because of a bit of a technical ineptitude that I'm just not very confident with flash at all. And, if I could see where the shadows are falling and it doesn't change, then that's so much easier to deal with than, what's going to happen when the flash goes off. It's just, so actually physically putting everything in front of the camera is great fun, and it's kind of part of that building process. But it's also not quite like being a sculptor, but it's certainly a much more physical way of working, and that's what I find much easier. Kind of dryly working out which technical, different stops and so on I should be using, and film stock and so on. I just glaze over a bit until I've actually physically got my hands on it. I can't really work with it. So yeah, I'm not very technical at all. But yeah, I have to take an interest. I can see the difference between poor quality and a good quality camera. I can see where a film needs to be grainier or needs to be sharper, but not until I've gone ahead and done it, and I'm not very good at keeping systematic notes. I end up repeating the same experiment 2 years later and thinking, here I go again. But it's trial and error.